Hey guys, welcome to Channelist Adam with ND72. So today we're inside one of my other buildings because I'm going to show you some cool parts that I just purchased. That's one of the biggest purchases I kind of made for one of my cars for one single product. Now that might sound kind of big, but also having in mind I don't really go around and buy like $10,000 superchargers or $40,000 this or blah 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 that. I kind of stay on a little bit of budget, mainly like $300 pulleys, $400 intake, so on and so forth. So this something is kind of big to me, and it is right here. Boom. This box came all the way from Georgia, from VTech, and I'm going to open it in front of you right now with a handy dandy fun knife. So, this product is something I've been wanting for a while, been debating on spending the money on it or going a different route. I mentioned it in one of my other videos, so I'm going to show you what it is right now. And the shipping took only roughly a week to get here once it was built, which is pretty good from a completely different country. Big thanks to VTech. But let's open it up and look at it. Ah! Wow. Okay, this is a lot cooler than I thought. Let me grab the camera. So, before I actually show you inside of the box, I'm going to kind of say there's a lot of stuff in here. It's almost looking perfect. And this is not really a performance mod, which it basically is, but it's also like a kind of necessity mod for how much boost I'm running on my E55. So this is for my E55, which is running a 168 crank, a 77mm fixed pulley, long tube headers, 92mm throttle body, so on and so forth, VTech tune, a lot of other stuff. But I was having heat issues, and this should solve it right here. And from me looking right here, this is a pretty effing complete kit. Bam! So what you can see from here, I got a series of piping. So this has, well, this is for my SL55. This is a TCU tune. That's a different thing. But this is a complete. Like when I say complete, I'm gonna check all these parts. But they look. I already opened a lot of it. 100% everything you need to install this. So I'm gonna pull it out and show you it. All right. So we got everything laid out on the table. So as you see, a lot comes with this kit. Everything on the table, minus all my pool table stuff and that cool puzzle my girlfriend's doing, comes with the kit. So as you see, it comes with a little bit much than I actually need. It has, as a little helper later, hoses, clamps. Now, will I be using all that? No. So for my, geez Rocco, calm down. So from my understanding, some of these hoses are going to be for like the factory style and for like the heat exchanger from VTech. I don't have that stuff, not this or that. It just didn't come with the car when I purchased it. I just didn't buy it. So I might not be using some of these hoses, but the quality he gives you with a lot of stuff is pretty good. Like, look at that. Look how thick that bad girl is. And then even these hoses. So from my understanding with these hoses, I could be wrong. They're basically going to help route the cooling in the back. But I might cut some of the bends and move some stuff around. He also gives you a couple T-fittings, a couple straights. And then he gives you this hose that's going to go on here, which I probably use a little bit. This is to bleed the cooling system to get all your little bubbles out. Kind of like the factory setup, but now you have dual because you have dual intercoolers. So now let's go over the intercooler setup over here. So let's start with literally the center, the stuff you'll never really see. Yes, it's painted to match my E55, which is pretty cool. You'll never see this part. But also, you notice anything different about this intercooler? It looks factory, but it's a little bit different. Look it, he chops off the ends, so there's no more water lines over there. And then look it, come on down right in here. Can you see in there? It is hollow. Woo-hoo! So now you have no more restrictions. So from with some other kits, like I'm not knocking anyone, not saying anything bad about it, but like if you get the VRP setup, from my understanding, you do not get a bottom intercooler that's completely bored out. So what you get is basically an intercooler that has restriction. Can you just bore your own out? Yes. With this kit, you get it already. Also, what he does is here is where the intake air temperature sensor would go factory. As you can see, it's gone. Mainly because if you're checking temp over here, that's like the worst place to check it with this setup because it doesn't go through any intercoolers. Now you have it right over, bing, on that side. So basically, right after it goes off of this tank, you'll get a reading. Now with the factory setup, you get it in the center. You know what temperature goes to both sides. This one, you're just getting this side, but it really shouldn't matter unless you have a huge effing hole over here, which hopefully that doesn't ever happen to you. Now let's go over the whole factory looking surge tank. I like that so much because it looks factory, it looks cool, and you get to see the little AMG on there. Mine's painted silver to make it look cool with the car, but So if you look at this whole setup, now if you compare, here's one of the cores. This is the whole intercooler core. That is basically the size of what the factory one would be. Maybe a little bit taller, but you also get, let's flip it over, so your water lines are bigger than factory, so you basically luck out there, and look down there, you can see your cool little core. Can you see it all shiny and new? So you have so much more volume from this, because now you have this whole piece over here with all that volume, and it basically, so from my understanding, the supercharger is going to shoot air into here, it's going to get cooled, and then be forced into this area and go right in your motor and make some cool power. So right side and left side are basically identical for how they are built from what it looks like to me with all the same bends and all that stuff. The parts that are a little bit different, now you got these two pipes. As you can see, they're bent differently. These pipes are I might have the wrong side, it's basically going to go from here to here. So they'll sit on the back, I'll have to figure out which one's right, which one's left. But also the good benefit that he does is, they got like the little bevel over there, so when you actually put your silicone piping over here, and let me say these are blue, not a fan of the blue. I mean, some people might like the blue and white. I wish I would have ordered black ones. That's neither here nor there. I could always like change these out later, but they're very good quality. They fit really tight, and that will definitely hold boost. Now also, what is a big upgrade for me personally, I mean, you can do this with a factory one too. The factory ones for the clamps that go over here, and I've had issues with my SLK and with another E55 car, it'll actually push one of these out and you'll lose boost there. But now, instead of the warm gear clamps for all the boost stuff, you're going to get T-style. And these are pretty good T-style ones, so that's a pretty good thing. This comes with the kit. Now, you do get the warm gear stuff for the water lines. That's fine because it's not super high pressure or high PSI or aggressiveness. So, that's not too bad. But everything else is looking pretty nice and looking pretty cool. I did pick white because, you know, I got an E55 and my E55 is white. He got his cool little logo over there. And they just look so clean, and like, I think in the engine bay it's going to complement it so nice. Now, with this kit, what you do not see on the table, which everyone usually will get, you also get his intake set up. That's supposed to be very good. It basically welds up and bends and goes all over here. So when I was ordering it, he had a few options, either stock or 82mm throttle body. As you know, I have the Hellcat one, and I got the VRP snout, and I have all that stuff. So he said he wasn't comfortable fabricating one just off pictures. I 100% get that, and that's really cool, because some companies, they might just sell it to you and just try to get your money. So that saved me a little bit. He sent me some other stuff to compensate the money and all that stuff. So VTech, super good guy. Now, I did contact him. I'm going to get the car retuned. He's already sending me a new file for this setup. Now, he didn't say you have to get another tune before you install this. I just messaged him like, hey, do I need a new tune? He's like, send me your VIN, I'll rewrite one. So I'm pretty sure you need one, but not 100%. Also, one thing that is not in this kit, mainly because I think it's just going to be my setup. So you see how you come with a series of fittings, like basically the T's and the straights. My intercooler setup's different than some other people's. So I ordered a series of like Y's and 90s and all that stuff, just kind of make my kit filled out. Now, all that stuff was just off Amazon. It was like $8. So whatever kit you have or however you want to use it or whatever you want to do, you might have to order 90s and stuff like that. Like literally I just got some brass 90s right here. If I need to make a 90 for that, or so on and so forth. So not too bad. I'm super happy with the kit. I'm going to be installing it. Tonight I'm going to start ripping it apart because I need to get my whole car done for FL2K, which is going to be in like I think 4 days. So this video should be coming out in the next day or two. Then you'll see maybe the install video, and then I might miss the data video because I'll be going to FL2K and all that stuff. But I will post it all out. Another thing with my setup, if you remember my last video that I just posted, I had the data of me running my whole setup with the 16 PSI boost, my stacked pulleys, all that stuff in 100-degree Florida weather, roughly 100-degree Florida weather that we took the car down to Mexico, and we compared it with ice, it went no ice. So now, people from that video were telling me, oh, my hoses were way too small. So, I am not going to be upgrading my hoses. What I'm going to be doing for this kit is installing literally this kit. So this way we have data, or at least I personally have data on a car that I tested 2 days ago. I throw a top mount intercooler setup, same lines, same tanks, same pumps. Bam, I can go run it. Now granted, the temperature outside might be a little bit different, but I mean, it's 3 days difference I don't think it's going to drop down to 60 degrees here in Florida, and then when I travel to Mexico, it ain't going down to 60 degrees, okay? So it's basically still going to be in the 90s, so we will get almost some very good data of comparing one to the other. Now, speaking about comparing stuff, a few people were telling me to get the killer chiller, or basically the AC-assisted cooling system. Yeah, those are cool and all, but me throwing ice in there is going to do almost the same thing. Granted, I can't drive around town and keep throwing ice in my car. I get that, but I'm hoping this will help me manage it a lot better. Now, one thing I would like to try in the future, I don't have the funds for it right now because I just spent all this and I got a lot of other projects going. If everyone remembers my SL55. If another company, like, I don't know, if VRP wants to send me their top mount setup for like a super discount or whatever, I'm not really asking for free parts, but that would be cool. I will throw it on my SL55 and do a big comparison of one to the other. Now, I do know with the VRP setup, you do not have a whole ported and hollowed out intercooler, but I still want to see if it helps out and works. So if you guys like, if you want to see more of like my E55 stuff, more video with data, more video of just going to Mexico, if you want to start seeing me racing some of my cars versus each other, I do got a professional driver that I live not too far down to where he will drive one of the cars. He's a little short no, he's not Puerto Rican. What is he? He is Portuguese. Yes, he does race car racing all the time, so I'll hire him to help race my cars. If you guys want to see my SL55 versus my CLS55 or versus my CLK or my E55, whatever, I'll throw some videos like that or any other suggestions. Throw them down below. Right, Rocky? So, we're going to be shooting some more videos soon. Hope you guys like it. Make sure you guys throw some comments down and some likes. And hope you guys like it. And I'll catch you guys later. Say bye, Rocco. Bye, Rocco. Alright, see you guys later, guys. Super dog. You got it?